Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om,
Swami.
Hari Om, Pranam, Swami.
Pranam, Pranam. Day for yesterday, Papa gave us an easy clue of how we should develop the attitude of bringing him into the picture by consciously remembering the three things. What were the three things?
Chanter, chanting, chanted.
Chanter, chanting, chanted. Suppose we are hearing now when somebody says Ram Nam, somebody is reading Ram Nam, and we are now repeating. So here, instead of chanting, what we should say, hearer, hearing, heard. Slowly we have to stretch this. This three-way approach. Suppose I am doing something, the doer, the doing, and the done. That means there is a whole-souled activity. It starts with, he puts us on the process by asking us to develop, to become one with what? Chanting, chanter, chanting, chanted. Hearer, hearing, heard. Doer, doing, done. Talker, talking, talker. So even during the non-chanting time, if we try this method, it will help to the mind to become one with anything that is prompted by from within to involve. As we have not reached that stage, she gives us a clue that we are all used to the chanting Ram now. Even now we started this program with chanting. So here we make an attempt to become aware of these three. The chanter, the chanting, the chanted. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Even if you are doing only 3 or 5, we can try to harmonize these 3 activities. And suppose if I am hearing the chanting, the hearer, the hearing, and the heard, I will not be able to straight away reach that, so that is why chanter, chanting, chanted. We have to keep on trying to get this technique. No amount of discussion. It is to be tried.
Swamiji, somehow it is very, solution is very near Swamiji.
No. We keep on trying. Mind may not come around, but we can try. Ramdas repeated the name aloud, and the sound used to arrest his mind and keep it fixed on God, bringing about union with Him. The oral repetition changed into mental repetition, for the mind took up the refrain until at last it became still. The repeated, the repetition, and the repeated became one. Thereafter, the repetition ceased, just as in a journey, when you reach the destination, there is no more need for you to walk farther on. So after hearing that, when we keep on pondering, reflecting, contemplating, we found that probably Papa wanted us to harmonize everything. There are 3 things that are going on every moment in our life. Seeing, seer, seeing, seeing. Hearer, hearing, heard. Taster, tasting, tasted. Smeller, smelling, smelt. Toucher, touching, touched. So through this Ramnam chanting, probably Papa wants us to bring this into our mind, so that slowly all these 3 become one, at least for a split second, by which act the eye slowly recedes. Think about it. When the musician sits on the dais and when he sings, we say it is excellent because the singer, the singing, and the song, they become one. So when there is a coordination of these 3 factors, what comes out is the excellence. We have to try and see for ourselves. Merely hearing this will not give us the knowledge. So, which is not in our hands. So we came with the freedom He has given to us. We are praying to Him now that you kindly bless us with a state where these 3 factors are harmonized. At least during the time of chanting, suppose we try to train the mind, that will slowly enable us to blend. Think about it. Suppose you are preparing something, some eatable. The doer, doing, and the done. In between, if me and mind steps in, I will not be able to do it in an excellent way. So through Ramnam, we try to practice this technique. That is why Papa said, when these three join together, it leads to stillness. Stillness means thoughtlessness. At the same time, it is not sleeping. During our deep sleep, thoughts are not there. Is it that state? No. Here the awareness is there, but thoughts are not there. We cannot understand it because this is expressed through thought. So Papa said, when the repeater, repeating, and the repetition becomes one, it leads to stillness. We have to keep on trying this, then only we will get that the repetition ceased, just as in it thereafter, the repetition ceased. That is how he scaled the heights. In his case, he receded, withdrew himself from the field of activities to a very great extent, and then plunged into this activity. In our case, we have not receded, withdrawn. We are very much with all activities. Whether we are in ashram, whether we are at our home. In ashram, during the specified hours, we go and attend. In our place, we don't have any such specified hour, so we keep on doing everything as they are, plus morning or evening, whenever we feel like doing it, we do that. But in ashram, we have got specific place and time where we try that. So this clue, everybody may keep on bringing effectively and actively in our life. These three: chanter, the me, chanting, the act of chanting, and the chanted, the mantra. Sadhaka, the act of doing sadhana, and the sadhana itself, they all become one. In ashram, it may be easy for us because in our place we may have a lot of preoccupation and commitment. So while we are in ashram, if we try to develop this, we can call it as Triputi, into one. All are in threes only, Deep waking, dream, deep sleep. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Past, present, and future. we keep on thinking about it, so many things become clear. And then God made us as a creation. He has also brought in the science within us that if we know the technique of combining these three, we will be successful in any venture. If we look back in our own life, right from the period of scoring marks, or when we are in field of profession, when we excel in our performance, it might be due to only the harmonious combination of these three. Whole-souled involvement. That very word in English, it teaches a lot. Whole soul. Not a part of the mind going outward and part of the mind working on this. Whole soul. To start that, as Virat Papa's spiritual children, he is giving us a technique. You start from this chanting. The prompting to chant comes from him. First of all, he has given us a sense of individuality with a body, mind, intellect equipment. So the chanter he has brought in. He gives us a prompting to chant. And what is that we are chanting? Only that power. Only that power which makes us to chant. Initially, it may not be possible for us to continue the chanting after a few minutes. So better, we start with one chanting, two chantings, three chantings, five chantings, like that. Because we have not put this dimension so far. So the mind may not go in line with this. And what is recommended is mental chanting. So first vocal chanting, then we try mental chanting and see whether that means the mind does not go anywhere else. Focused, concentrated. Did anybody try?
So you found a deficiency in your chanting process only.
Repeat.
Yes. The process of chanting not efficient.
Process of chanting has started.
No, that is not effective. That is where we are lacking in. Have you understood something? You are picking up that.
Have we tried?
Yes.
When we are alone.
Swamiji. Yes, Swamiji, tried, but but it is not that efficient. Mind
Not effective as we thought. Yes. What asking? Can effective was
Because we have not done so far on those lines. So naturally there will be resistance.
Yes, that is the drawback.
So one nama you try. Again you try. Again you try. When you get a grip on one nama, then try for the second one. And suppose how to train that? Even now when we are hearing, why not we try this method? Hearing, hearer, hearing and heard. So that we don't set apart only for this chanting. Anyway, let us try, because Papa talks it from his own experience only. Mental or silent repetition of the name is considered to be better than verbal repetition. When you mentally repeat, your mind is fixed in the name, whereas mere oral repetition does not effectively stop the wandering mind. But if your mind is harmonized with the sound of the name, oral repetition is better. Ramdas repeated the name aloud, and the sound used to arrest his mind and keep it fixed on God, bringing about union with Him. The oral repetition changed into mental repetition, for the mind took up the refrain until at last it became still. The repeated, the repetition, and the repeated became one. So these three, the repeater, the repeating, and the repeated become one. It is the outcome of our process. Outcome of the process of focused, concentrated effort. We can't put the cart before the horse. Papa did not say you start with this and then you will know. He was repeating mentally, he was concentrating on the sound, he was hearing it, and the outcome was the repeater, the repetition, and the repeated became one. Thereafter the repetition ceased, just as in a journey, when you reach the destination, there is no more need for you to walk farther on. To make it more effective, Papa again amplifies. That is why we are told to repeat the name of God, putting into it our soul, not with a divided mind. Repeating the name with a wandering mind shows that our love for God is not integral. Some people came to Ramdas and complained that they repeat the name by the lips, but their mind is wandering. Now, why can one not concentrate on one's mind on God when one is chanting His name or when one sits for meditation? The reason is that one's love for the objects of the world is greater than one's love for God. Surely the aspirant's mind must think of God as intensely as a miser thinks of his money. So a sincere devotee prays to God, "O God, make me love thee above everything else." When we love him, our whole mind will be filled with him, and there can be no other thought coming into it. So let us not confuse the practice and the outcome. The outcome is these three become one. The more we think about it, probably we will be able to derive the fullest benefit. But once we pray to him to move from vocal to the mental. Because while we are chanting mentally, the concentration level will be definitely higher.
Swamiji, while there is slow chanting, we can try this.
Slow chanting, okay. Anything can be tried, There is no hard and fast rule. Each one should try their own method. Don't look up to any instruction from others. Papa has given his, so we apply our mind. How otherwise, when the mind again become restless, we pray to him. Immediately we stop our exercise. We pray to him, get up or put water on the face, and then again come and sit. Again, when we chant, the mind goes out, again get up. So that, we don't go along with that disturbed mind. And suppose our foot is obstructing, our place is obstructing, our time is obstructing, we slowly start fine-tuning one by one. This can be done only by one's own effort, because each one is unique and each one's methodology also has to be unique. Whatever revelations Mahatmas have placed before us, it will give some throw light, but we may not be able to do exactly like what they said. From 1920 to 22, what was Papa's life and what is our life? Just imagine. We are hearing Papa's words after he has scaled the heights. But we are not traveling with him during his sadhana. Because we are all sadhakas. We are sadhakas trying to understand the words of an enlightened soul. That is why we are not in a position to go along with it. So we are now going back to Papa's sadhana days. We are all sadhakas. So our sadhana, we are going to, and then we find this is what he did. And I try this. I cannot do this. And what should I do? I keep on praying, appealing, crying, You show me some light. I am unable to do that. Then intuitively we will get the instruction. What are our hurdles and how to get over that hurdle. Papa is slowly pushing us to that stage now. As we enter the centenary hall, there are so many words of Papa there. Small, small boards, One board you kindly remember. External worship is a distant means of realizing it, something like that. So the time has now come for all of us to become introverted, to take to inward journey. And when the mind does not cooperate with us, we pray, we appeal, because it is not in our control. Even if we do 5 minutes long now, let us try for this. As soon as we get up from the bed, suppose we try for 5 minutes. Even before going to bathroom or brushing the teeth, as soon as we get up, we will have a sankalpa, we will have 10 times long or 5 times long. And try this. We chant, we try to hear. And after we come out, we try to find out whether these three has taken place. The chanter, the chanting, the chanter. How will you know? From the outcome of it. A pleasant feeling will well up in our body. An inexplicable feeling. We have got up from our deep sleep or Swapanavastha, but at the same time, there is a stillness, there is a peaceful pause moment. It may not be there for a minute, but surely God will give us a taste of it. By bringing all these three into one, He makes Himself aware. He makes us aware of His presence. For this, you have to intensely pray initially. It is the PhD class he is taking.
Yes, Swamiji.
So it is a tough job. A devotee asks God, Are you a trader? Are we to toil day and night for your grace? If so, can you call it as grace? Would it not be a wage for our labor? God, I will not do anything to earn your grace. Still, you should bless me with your grace. Then alone I can reckon you to be gracious. Even the worst of men you have saved. Why not me? No, a kind of prayer. Ramdas was often asked what he did to deserve God's grace. Though they thought it was all due to only Ramdas' severe austerities, Ramdas said he did not do anything by his own individual will, which is a myth. God himself in his mercy inspired him to perform all sadhanas for realizing him. Sheer grace alone changed him from what he was to what he is. Who are we mortals to qualify ourselves to deserve his grace? If we do anything good or great, it is by his will and by his power. We are absolutely nothing. By his grace alone, we can be saved, not by our merit or effort. So this prayer, morning when we get up, you are within me, you have been with me, that is why I exist with this equipment called body, mind, intellect. You are there in me, you have made me to understand intellectually, you are there in the form of life, in the form of awareness, in the form of intelligence. But at the same time, you have also given me a sense of individuality and made me to forget that you are the power behind it. Why don't you please reveal this to me? And whatever you want me to do, you have been making me to do. But I am not aware that you are making me to do because I am not aware of your presence. So when you prompt me to take to Nama chanting, I also take it as one of the acts initiated by me. That is why I have not been deriving the fullest benefit which I should have been deriving. Now you have made me understood that in spite of my doing Ramna for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, still your presence I am looking up to somebody else. I am looking up to some other factor, entity other than me. When Ramdas says that you should repeat the name, he is asking you to repeat only the name of your own self, which is God. When you are asked who are you, you reply I am so and so. Do you say I am God? If you are bold enough truly to say so from inner experience, then you are only He. So we have to prepare ourselves gradually and take the final leap. Gradually. And he adds these words, all sadhanas are done with a view to still the mind. The perfectly still mind is the universal spirit. It is now that the ego dissolves and you realize that you are the universal spirit. Stilling the mind is not easy, it cannot be done at will. You have to go through the necessary discipline for it. Mind is like an ocean with waves incessantly rising and falling. At first, the aim is to make the mind still by concentrating on any one of God's symbols, sound, name, image, light. The God idea must predominate in your mind, but that idea also should be finally dissolved. So what becomes of your little I? What is your experience? You cannot express what it is. It is simply baffles description. There was a time when Ramdas has to contend against the mind. The mind was trying to overpower him whenever he tried to control it. But as he went on chanting the name, God came to the rescue. Usually, man is a slave of the mind. Whatever the mind prompts, indiscriminately man does. So what is needed is mastery over the mind. The man who is guided by a passion-ridden mind lives in ignorance and suffers badly. When you are about to do the right thing, the mind asks you not to do it. Yes? So whatever now he has facilitated for us to know, we will not try to put it in our memory box. He is seated within all of us. He is making us to think about it. Probably that two mantra, that might also help. Keep on asserting. You are with me, you have been with me. You have with me, you have been with me. I am not alone, you are with me. So Papa was also struggling like all of us, but in Nikki's case, he was able to chant this throughout. When in the passage to divinity, when Chandrasekhar Rao, he explained that Papa was chanting for 22 hours out of 24 hours. Something we cannot even imagine. 1 hour at best we can sit. 22 hours in his room to chant. So that is why he could scale it within the short time. So as we said, let us travel with Papa during the sadhana days. You can mentally feel he is there sitting, we are sitting before him and he is guiding us. And one by one he will ask, how Papa was able to reduce all his wants, how he was able to bring down the comfort zones, and that is how he took it up. So when we travel with him, all those points become clearer and clearer to us. Anybody would like to say anything? It is becoming very, very serious.
Swamiji, she want to ask something.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Swamiji. What is the difference in the impact when we chant louder, orally, or when we chant mentally, silently?
What's the question?
The impact, the difference in the impact.
Only
In
that person will know.
Yeah, in concentration or focus.
Nobody else can evaluate.
Okay.
You know whether it is getting concentrated, focused.
Yeah.
So first when you chant vocally, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Am I in a position to hear my own chanting?
Yes.
That means the concentration level is slightly going up. Then again, I try Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Then I realize that when I start hearing my own chanting, the thoughts do not go outside at all. So I practice this for some time. When this slowly gets stabilized in me, I pray to him and he will push me to the second stage called mental chanting. So mentally we chant, we try to hear our own chanting. If the outgoing tendencies are there, we will not be able to hear our own chanting. So that is the impact. So we come to know, no, you can say that, no, I find it difficult. Again the mind goes out. Then what we can do is get up immediately, open your eyes. And again sit. Again try. Again the mind goes run riot. Then one of the things which we practice, is pour some cold water on our face, so that you are again refreshed. Come back, sit. Or just get up and walk a few steps. Again sit. This has to be done individually by us. And see how the harmonized synthesis of hearing and chanting and hearing takes place. Even if we hear this lecture for so many times, we will not be able to. We have to practice. That is why we said early morning when we get up, we can try this. Mind is fresh. So try for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Oral chanting, trying to hear it. When the mind is slowly joining with it, we switch over to mental chanting. And whether the chanting is followed by hearing, don't try more. Some 5 minutes you try. Attend to all work. Whenever there is a pause moment, again try. In between two activities, suppose we get an interval, we can try. When we are walking, so nobody is there to disturb us, we can try. Even during our waiting time, we get some pause moment, we can try. One chanting, hearing. One chanting, hearing. So we are slowly training our mind to get fixed on that particular act. Chanter, chanting, chanted. It becomes the outcome. It has to be tried.
Okay. Thank you. And because sometimes I read, I hear my own chanting silently in my head, regardless of whatever I do. I'm driving, I'm cooking, I'm doing something. but it's going on. Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, silently in my head. What's
Good.
it?
But you have to check up whether the same is extended to for a longer time.
So anything I do, but that's like a record playing.
Whatever you have been blessed with is a great thing. Try to hold on.
Okay.
It's a great blessing. Even after stopping it, we are trying to hear means it's a great blessing. So you keep on praying to him. Take me further. Take me further.
Yeah. Even in during sleep, if I wake up for some few minutes, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai. That's what's going on in my mind silently.
Very good.
So I don't recite. I don't say it louder, but it's in my it's recorded. It's playing in my head.
Great.
Thank you.
Keep it up. There you go. Anything else?
Swamiji,
Every
day when we get up in the morning, I have alarm. The alarm is when the Ram Nam comes, I have to get up. But I am not able to hold on to this for a longer time. Not by force. when I get up in the morning, this comes automatically. I don't do anything by force. I cannot do it as a practice. I am not able to do.
You plead, appeal, cry. Tell him. He will open up some way for you. It cannot come from outside. Because when you know that you want to do a particular thing, a particular dish you want to cook, does anybody help you from outside?
No.
Nothing. Right from any act that you are not looking up to any outside factor for many things. So you are now looking back, what is it that prompted me to do that? Suppose you want to prepare a particular dish. Suppose you want to keep certain things in an order in a particular room. Or if you want to see the puja room to be cleaned. How are you doing it? Just watch. Who is the prompting? Who is prompting you to do it? And how do you do it? So this way, when we keep on bringing this dimension, this introvertedness, you will find mysteriously how the guidance comes to you even when you are not aware of the guidance. Just like the words now which are coming. As an individual, we have absolutely no clue what will be the next word. So he is setting the inner machinery in such a way that last he fine-tunes it and gives the answer. But to watch and enjoy this, we need his grace. It is just like no paper, you don't know what the questions are when you go to the exam. There is no teacher to guide you. There is no text to guide you. And the questions are not known to you. And the moment you go through the question, how does the answer come? So previously, when he made you to attend the class, when he made you to attend the homework, there is some system by which he is absorbing those themes and getting it by memory, and in your own way when you are put that question. This internal mechanism, we are not aware, that's all. Now we try to become aware. Previously we were doing it, but we were not aware. Now, and when we keep on by Papa's grace, when we are on this path, we know not only now, right from day one, we have been doing it because of the guidance that was. And in order to make us know that, he also introduced this exam system test.
Ram tells that many times he can hear the Ram Nam going on in his ears. Sometimes very sharply, but all the time he can hear. And he says in some places, like when we went to Gondavlikar Maharaj, or when he comes to ashram, that Ram Nam is pretty in the forefront. He can hear that very clearly.
That experience also he gives us, But we attribute the reason to the external factors. Suppose whether I am in Anandashram, whether I am at home, these things are done by him in me. That thought, that truth, if I get revealed.
But when one gets such thing, should then that person not try to listen to that all the time, Swamiji? I mean, if I get that, I would prefer to only listen to that.
No, we try to become aware of his presence in whatever way. You don't think that only by listening to Ramna. Listening to Ramna enables us to know that everything is happening only by his will. Otherwise, it's a long shot. But when we chant Ramna, we can try to feel it. We can try to discipline our mind, and then we come to know that everything is happening only by his will. Previously, we were doing Ramna because he willed us. He developed us to have the concentration. He developed us to bring the God dimension through Ramnam chanting. And then now he is making us to feel his presence every now and then. So we are praying to him, why don't you make it as a permanent one? Because every now and then when you sit, when you hide yourself, the old me and mine takes over the position and then refuses to give the seat. When you say that when Ram went to Godavarikar Maharaj's place, those are the places where you are giving the seat to him.
Okay. I got it.
So here we are trying, he is only here, but we are not given up our seat and made him to occupy it. Whenever we allow that me and mine to go and allow him to occupy the seat, inside our seat. I was just remembering the Tamil bhajan. He alla Devamille, he vaazhum nejam, something like that. He vaazhum velli, something like that. Maybe you are residing in my heart only, and I am searching for you. Only you are there. Previously, we were hearing the bhajan, enjoying it. That's all. Theme was also, but we were not dwelling deep into the theme. That means wherever we have vacated our position, even though for a short time. When you watch the TV now, suppose the Lok Sabha session is going on, there is a speaker there. But the speaker will not be there throughout. So he appoints a panel of presiding officers from different parties. So when he goes out, according to certain order, each one will come and occupy that seat and conduct the Lok Sabha. But he knows that he is only there for a short time. And as soon as his time is over, he gets up and sits like an ordinary member, and the speaker comes and sits. In our case, we don't try to get up. And what will happen? Think about it. Every now and then, we are given opportunity to sit in the chair and act as he wants. Okay, at that particular moment when he comes out, when God comes out, we should immediately get up and give him, thanking him for the opportunity he has given. But what are we doing? We refuse to get up. We refuse to give him the seat. Even the authority who has given us to sit there, that authority is asked to stand. Think about it. This inward journey will surely help us to know how imminent, how close he is. So, the moment we get up, suppose we remember this word, you are with me, you have been with me, you are with me, you have been with me, you are with me, you have been with me. And then you chant Ram Nam. How many times, and try this. He is making us to chant Ram Nam. He is there, that is why we exist. He is in the form of life, he is in the form of awareness, he is in the form of intelligence. So our entire sadhana is now zeroing to the actual path. From the outer to the inner. Let us all try to make use of it as best as possible. He is leading us. And every day he is he is giving us his experience. And two things that came out today is that we travel with Papa not as a realized soul. We travel with him as a seeker, not as the seer. Then we will know what all he did and what we are unable to do. And how will we keep up the balance? What he did, we are not in a position to do. But there are something which we can do. That we will come to know it. And slowly try to incorporate those things, integrate those things. And then we travel with Papa. Think about it. Day after tomorrow when we meet, we will see what else he teaches us. So these three things,
Swamiji,
Yeah.
as soon as I get up in the morning, chant Ram Nam, I say, Papa, you are always with me. அப்படி சொன்னாக்கா ரொம்ப தெம்பு கிடைக்கும். தெம்பு என்ன சொல்றதுன்னு தெரியல.
நீ கூட இருக்காய், நீ என்னைக்குமே கூட இருக்காய், இப்படும் இருக்காய், அதை எனக்கு புரிய வச்சுடே. Every now and then I get disconnected.
That also happens.
Try. Anyway, he will not leave us. So none of us need to worry about it. One hand he has placed on us. And then நம்ம இங்க பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தா கூடி he will pull us up. He will not leave us.
Yes, Swamiji. Yes, Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Pranam.
Hari Om,
Pranam, Papa.
Hari Om.
Thank you, thank you.
Pranam.
Namaskaram.
Hari Om. Pranam.